Jai Hind, very good afternoon to each and everyone present over here on this amazing online forum. So I think pandemic has given us a wonderful opportunity wherein all of us sitting at the comfort of our offices can come together and have wonderful knowledge sharing sessions. And I thank AIMS as an organization for organizing such amazing series of events from eminent speakers as Sir Chandrasekhar sir, who is present with us today. So I'll just give you a brief about what AIMS as an organization is and what is the intention of having these knowledge sharing sessions. So the theme of today's knowledge sharing session is emerging opportunities into healthcare analytics with special reference to India. And of course, no longer we are a local body. It goes at the global level also. So AIMS is Association of Indian Management Schools. And it's a professional non-profit networking body of Indian B schools specifically. And almost all the top institutions of B schools of India are its member. And it is one of the largest networking organizations of the world. So it's an amazing forum. I had been associated with it for quite some time. And the sessions that it has, the people, the way they encourage the young talent also to come across, the way knowledge sharing sessions are there, the way networking helps us grow each and everyone. And I have to congratulate AIMS body on behalf of the entire fraternity of the B schools for setting up this wonderful organization. And it's also one platform where we come share the best practices with each other. And it's one networking community which truly believes that coming together is the success. There is no other way out. And one of the ways it's being showcased is Chandrasekhar sir is here with us all the way from US, wanting to share with all of us what are the emerging opportunities into healthcare sector into India. Sir, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for accepting the invite for being the speaker of the event.
Thank you, Punia. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And also there are few protocols before introducing sir into detail. I would like to mention the few protocols that we need to follow. So all the participants are in unmute mode. So you won't be able to unmute yourselves because for the free flow of the event. But then this is an interactive session wherein you can keep on posting your questions into the chat box. So the flow will be, sir will be speaking for about 40 minutes and then we'll keep the session open for everybody. The questions can be posted mid also into the chat box so that I can compile them and post it to sir to enlighten us over the queries and issues that we have at the end of the session. So this is how the flow will be. And there will be a 15 minutes attendance window that will be opened up at the end of the session. So you'll have to mark the attendance into that, and it's also a feedback window. And immediately once the attendance and the feedback is marked, all the participants will be given an e-certificate of the participation into this knowledge sharing session. So this is how the brief protocol of the event that we are having over here. Now speaking about Dr. R. Chandrasekhar Menon sir, sir's core competencies are into business analytics, with special reference to healthcare segment and into management education. Sir is a healthcare professional turned renowned professor, hails from Palakkad, Kerala. I hope I am taking it right, sir. India is such a diversified nation wherein the lingual might be different for me and you. So sir has core competencies into healthcare management and management education. So sir started his career with Sarabhai Chemicals in analytical side of healthcare, way back into 1997 when analytics was at a very, very nascent stage. And he groomed to be to the top position of heading a global conglomerate, that is Brown, the global leader in healthcare for the Asia Pacific region, heading a total of around 800 sales and marketing professionals. Sir has worked across 4 continents, spread across 8 countries, traveled across 45 cross-cultural communities and countries during the last 45 years. And sir has experience of working into the most versatile organizations of the globe with 25 years of industry experience. And then sir turned into academics, which is a very, very wise step I feel taken for that's like the future building, to academics in 1998 with Loyola College in Chennai, and became the first overseas director for the international operation for its PGDM program at Knowledge Village, Dubai, for the prestigious SP Jain Center of Management in 2000. And now sir is Dean Academics of Global Institute of Healthcare Analytics, USA, based out in India, and a business analytics organization specified in healthcare analytics. Sir's academic credentials, though we have already got to know many of them, but it spans from PhD from Washington University in USA, MPhil in Environmental Economics from Madras University, then master's degree in Sociology, Economics, Psychology, Public Administration, LLB, MBA, and these are the educational scope of the sir. So it's such amazing to hear your profile and your vast experience. I am sure you will be mesmerizing the entire audience with your session on healthcare analytics. And given the pandemic has also given a special emphasis to healthcare as a segment, each and every person has become very aware about what health is. And similarly, the healthcare sector has emerged at a very, very versatile stage now. And I think there cannot be a better place than India right now for healthcare analytics. I welcome each and every participant over here into the forum, and I hand over the forum to Chandrasekhar sir to enlighten the audience and with his session.
A very pleasant good afternoon, and thank you, Punia, for your nice words. It really motivates me.
Yes, sir.
I profusely appreciate the management of this institution, AIMS, bestowing on me the responsibility of handling a session and share a few minutes with the learned participants across India, perhaps even outside India. I will try to bring to your attention very salient, simple, practical, down-to-earth things happening in healthcare analytics, and I will make the session as simple as possible. I know I am talking to a learned intellectuals, professors, associates, and industry person. If I put all the experience put together, my experience is infinitesimally insignificant. It is very, very small. In spite of that, God has given me the opportunity to work in multicultural situations, multicultural organization, and largely in healthcare. And I am going to share only my individual experience in this domain, not in healthcare, but healthcare analytics that I have been practicing for the last 15 years continuously. And that's what I'm going to share. Can I share my presentation?
Yes, sir.
So this is what I am, what my friend has introduced to all of you. Don't worry, these are all happening for the past, and nobody is worried about the past now. People are worried about the present and future. So let us bury all these things. Now come to this organization. I am heading in India and also all over the world. This is an institute exclusively for healthcare analytics. I take a small piece of analytics that is only in healthcare, and in healthcare, I take only the analytics part of it. And I'm going to talk only that. Incidentally, I'm associated in India, in US, I'm associated with a company called Whitetree. This is an exclusive healthcare analytics organization in US, serving even clients in India and other countries. Secondly, there is an organization based out in Bangalore called Core Analytics. Third is Ramyam Intelligence. Big Basket, this is a small grocery store company, and we do some work for Big Basket also. And lastly, Sessions Mumbai. They're all our associates in performing our activities on business analytics or healthcare analytics related things. Now I'm coming straight away into the topic. We take decisions. We take plenty of decisions. Right, wrong, ugly, good, all. Largely, our decisions are largely based on our own experience, or put it in simple language, gut feeling. This is one part of our decision-making process. Otherwise, there are very few people who take decision based on data. based on information, based on sharp evidence, empirical evidence. They will not take any decision without evidence, evidence-based decision making. Now, a combination of this has come to make a decision making really thoughtful, purposeful, and meaningful. And that is the role of analytics in business. Gone are the days people started taking decision based on experience and based on gut feeling alone. Gone are the days people started taking decision based on numbers or empirical evidence alone or the computer based automated decisions alone. A combination of these two has happened now. And that's why today, vast majority of the decisions are very thoughtful, meaningful, and insightful. And that is the topic we are going to dwell upon, not related to all industries, but related to one industry, and that is healthcare industry. When we want to talk about the healthcare industry, one very interesting thing about healthcare industry is the way the data are available in the marketplace is highly dynamic. If I ask a question, if somebody come to a multi-speciality hospital as an inpatient, and if he or she is inside the hospital for 5 days for a procedure or for some treatment, and the patient goes after 5 days, what would be the likelihood of the number of data that this one patient can create in records? So this is a very simple question. How many data can be created around one person who is admitted in a hospital as an inpatient? I'm not talking about outpatient, as an inpatient, maybe for a surgery or maybe for some procedures. You will be surprised. Approximately anywhere between 140 to 150 data are created around him. This is happening for one patient coming to a hospital. Think about a multi-speciality or a corporate hospital where you have around 700 to 1,000 beds. And when 1,000 beds are there, and assuming 1,000 patients are there, 1,000 into 150, 150,000 data is available per day in 24 hours. So much of data is available. And all this data, when we start working on that, it gives a lot of insight for the organization. So if the organization can work on those data, they can create a meaningful change in customer engagement, meaningful change in delivering the best value to the customers. This is the way the data analytics works in healthcare. Healthcare is not necessarily hospital. It's a wide spectrum. Hospital is one part of it. Diagnostic centers, pharmaceutical companies, even certain medicines, pharmaceutical manufacturers. It's a big umbrella of activities we call in one brand name as healthcare. Now, the question in healthcare organization, the data available in healthcare is this. These data are not available in quantitative form always. You see the kind of heterogeneity in data. We are concerned about only the volume of data, but you have to think about the variety of data, the veracity of data, the velocity of what is the velocity of data? The rate of change of speed at which the data is changing, right? See, for example, if you take blood pressure of one patient at least 20 times in a day, 20 times it shows a different blood pressure. So that's called the velocity, the rate of change of speed in data. Value of the data with respect to the well-beingness or the illness of the patient and how much it is variable. You know very well, very interesting thing in healthcare, none of the healthcare parameters are permanent or fixed. For example, temperature of the human body, it is not fixed. It is 98.4. It can be 98.3 also, 98.5 also. Like that, blood pressure between this range, glucose between this range and this, always you find it is within a range. There is nothing called fixed. This makes the healthcare unit very complex in analyzing that, because it is the variability is very, very huge. And with this parameter, with this condition, we may have to work on how to get insights about the patient or how to get insights about a particular situation. Not necessarily all the data is available in a structured form. Sometimes it is available as a report. Sometimes what the patient talks is also information or data to me. Sometimes the picture he carries, the graphical, the X-ray or the MRI or the CT scan, all are data as far as I am concerned, right? And it is very difficult for the institutions, very difficult for the entity to get an insight from that. And that is what precisely done by healthcare data analytics part. Look at this. I am coming to a very interesting part now in order to connect my topic. My topic is healthcare analytics, emerging opportunities in healthcare analytics. In India, perhaps my friend Punia said, maybe in fact, all the world also. Look at this. I gave a caption 18 is to 30. This is a very interesting observation. 30 fastest growing occupations were identified in the world, not in India, in the world. 30 fastest growing organization. Their growth rate is not 5%, 10%, 20%. It's all in double digits, triple digits, and more. Fastest growing occupations. And you will find, very interestingly, 18 of them are in healthcare and related occupations. Out of 30, 18. You have definitely ITES, you have IT, you have BFS, you have FMCG, you have telecom. But out of 30, 18 occupations are related to health or healthcare industry, meaning the scope is very, very high. Now, coming to the data.
If I may interrupt, so there we are talking about occupations and not sectors.
No. We are talking only occupation. For example, even if you create a mineral water, it is considered to be a healthcare product.
Correct. Okay. Understood.
Right? Or you create a syringe, that is also supposed to be a healthcare product.
So all the allied sectors.
Everything. That way only out of 30, 18 belongs to this particular category. Counseling, healthcare counseling is a very emerging topic now. Healthcare counseling throughout the world. Right. So can I further move?
Yes, sir, please.
Yes. So the healthcare industry, therefore, does not mean only hospital, does not mean only drugs, does not mean only medical insurance, does not mean only manufacturing drugs. It means a comprehensive, a big basket is there, right? As I rightly said, even mineral water, hygiene, everything is related to health. For example, during COVID time, we have been taught, right? You should have health hygiene, right? Dress hygiene, your movement hygiene, all are health related. This makes this industry what is called sunrise industry. Sunrise industries are those industries who do not grow by 5%, 10%, 20%. They grow in leaps and bounds. 200%, 300%, 600%, like that. And therefore, healthcare industry has already arrived all over the world and more so in India. Point number one. Taking data about the healthcare industry and its growth over 2014 till 2025, the expected growth, you will find phenomenal growth. Phenomenal growth is happening. And in that phenomenal growth, we have divided that growth into two parameters. One is the softwares, another is the services. You will find both software and services are growing simultaneously. Today, healthcare is not largely a man-oriented business. Today, healthcare is largely a techno-oriented business, right? Technology has taken a front seat in healthcare, starting from patient and customer engagement, starting from operations, starting and also in the surgery or the treatment part, and also the post-treatment part. Today, the diagnosis part has become very simple and humble, and you have a lot of technology coming to the force. So I'm again reiterating the point, the opportunities are growing phenomenally. Right? And one important sector or one or two important sector has just growing very, very actively in a country like India is health insurance. Health insurance is showing a big phenomenal change in India, maybe due to various reasons. I'm not going into that. But apart from hospitals, medical devices, pharmaceutical, and one more industry that is becoming very rampant in India in the last 5 years, especially during COVID, pre-COVID, and post-COVID, is the number of clinical trials conducted in India. No country in the world can afford to have the luxury of conducting all the clinical trials in the home country, whether it is US or Britain or any other countries. For example, you want to introduce a drug, right? Initially, you do trial one, maybe in vitro, then you do in vivo, apart away from the lab. Then you do for 100 people, then you do for 200 people. But when you come to level 4, level 5, level 6, you need 10,000 or 100,000 people with a similar condition to undergo the trial. And nowhere in the world you have the luxury of such number of patients or number of hospitals. And most of the clinical trial companies are moving to India or taking support from India to conduct the clinical trials before such trials are vetted and finally that is being approved by FDA and other countries. Sorry, FDA and other authorities. FDA and other authorities. So clinical trial is another very, very simple route. People get a lot of employment and a lot of opportunities to grow. Now, coming to the next important point where I would like to draw your attention that in India, there was a time Indian manufacturers were considered as one of the few, but today you will find the top-notch generic manufacturing companies in the world are largely sourced out from India. The moral of the story is we have become a very leading player in the marketplace in manufacturing also. Now, I'm straight away get into the topic of healthcare analytics. When you come to healthcare analytics, there are three important components of that. One important component is collecting the data. Collecting the data itself is the most painful exercise, especially in a country like India. Number two is getting a clinical intelligence out of it. Third one is converting that clinical intelligence into business intelligence. And that business intelligence only will make you money. If you have only collection of data, only part of the work is done. If you create only clinical intelligence, the next part is done. But you don't start earning money. You start earning money only by converting that intelligence into business intelligence, and therefore you create rupee ana paisa. You create profit. Now the question comes: in all the three areas, data analytics work. Data analytics works, healthcare analytics works, but in which area it is largely required is the collection and creating clinical intelligence. Because largely the business intelligence is an in-house job, whereas clinical intelligence and collecting data is an out-house job, or it's an outsourced job, or it is the job that is happening outside the laboratory, and that is the place where people find a tremendous scope. And let us understand what all the drivers, what all the business drivers for healthcare and life science. Healthcare and life science, they are twins. They are wedded together. They live in same family. They belong to the same family. And that's why I have combined healthcare and life science. And what are the drivers? So you see the number one driver. The number one driver in healthcare and life science is differentiation and innovation. This differentiation innovation is a mark of excellence that people are striving to look for, right? Secondly, you get how you can reduce your cost or how you can increase your effectiveness. Like that, when you go down, finally, there are indications like managing the risk, acquiring and retaining customers. But of all things, you will find the big drivers are the first three. Number one, how you differentiate yourself from others. Number two, how you reduce your cost of production and increase your efficiency. And number three is regulatory compliance. You know very well during the COVID days, right? Vaccines were not available. And international vaccines were being sold at a skyrocketed price. And you know very well, Government of India, even International Forum, the International Healthcare Society, they decided to dilute, to water down the compliances, right? And that is the reasons, before we completed trial 5, trial 6 of many of the vaccines, we got the vaccine introduced in India, and we are proud to say that we are able to export the vaccines to other parts of the world. So compliance, reducing cost, and increasing efficiency thereby. And the number one is creating differentiation. These are the biggest drivers in healthcare, whether it is for manufacturing, whether it is for hospitals, whether it is for a nursing home, whether it is for a diagnostic company, whether it is for even running an institution of healthcare. This has become a very great slogan in healthcare, and everybody is looking for ways and means to uphold and appreciate that 4 important points. So, in the availability of data analytics available, or the tools available for analyzing data, you will find the application of big data has come very handy to healthcare. Thereby, we are able to prevent death. We are able to better our clinical decisions. We are able to do a lot of research on new drugs, and we are able to prevent epidemics, and we are able to create a lot of clinical trials effectiveness, and thereby we are able to improve the quality of life in general. So in short, in net, the availability or the application of data analytics in healthcare has made our life much easier, much safer, and much stronger. Look at this. The entire data analytics, as far as I'm concerned, is resting on 2 things. Number one, the collection of data and getting a sense out of data. And gone are the days people started working on the data in their own way, but a lot of softwares are available in the marketplace. A lot of softwares are available in the marketplace to analyze data which are available quantitatively, data which are available in the text form, data which are available in any forms. Any forms. As a company, we are using these softwares in our organization. RapidMiner, ConfitMate, Chattermill, Microsoft Text Analytics API, Thematic, Stratified. These are all just to give an impression about how we are using different kind of text analytics in our own company. The moral of the story is that the work has become very, very less lethargic and very pleasant, and each of these text analytics software is related to or used in specific given situation. For example, you cannot use Stratified where you can use RapidMiner. RapidMiner, there is a clear indication, like drugs. Certain drugs are useful in certain indication, certain drugs are not useful in certain indication. Like that, RapidMiner I can use in certain indications, whereas Stratified I can use in certain other indication. This is a secret that companies, business analytic companies are using, or health analytic companies are using, where to use a given software. And the software development, you have seen the old chart, the software also increasing at the same, the software companies also increasing at the same time. The hardware and other parts of healthcare also increasing, and they are increasing almost equal. As much the hardwares are increasing, I mean the equipments and apparatus are increasing, the software also increasing, making the life of the physician, making life of the hospital very, very comfortable. Look at this. So therefore, I'm talking more on text analytics for simple reason. All quantitative analytics, we have enough and more data, more softwares available. Given a situation, there is a software available. You just Google it, you get the software. But for text analytics, we have only very less. What the patient says, what the bystander says, what the doctor's opinion, or what the doctor's report, the written report about a doctor, a discharge summary. If I feed this into the system and I get an output that this means this means this, what a fantastic world we are in. And that is the charm, and that is the beauty of all. So I run a lot of call center. My call centers are changing the transcripts. Online interviews and online reviews are again put into examination, put into reviews. Customer surveys are coming to me, and these customer surveys are dissected. Finally, I get the insight into the customer survey. I don't go by what they say, but how they say. and why they say and when they say. All these things put together, finally, I am able to make a very learned decision as I could not make it maybe 10 years or 15 years back. Now, coming to one very interesting information, today the healthcare is not conventional or traditional. Today, healthcare is largely consumer driven, or you put it customer driven. The patient is coming to a hospital with almost all available information about the procedure he or she is going to do, right? Who is the best doctor? He knows, perhaps. Which is the best hospital? He knows. And what is the cost? He knows. Which insurance company pays or does not pay? He knows. So largely it is consumer driven healthcare. So gone are the shape of the old conventional healthcare model. Today, it is largely covered by customer driven, and therefore it is not the hospital, it is not the pharmaceutical company, it is not one entity. There is a conglomeration of, a combination of a large number of players into the healthcare delivery. For example, look at this: distributors, retailers, e-commerce people, social media, medical outsourced services, specialty facility, maintenance. All these things are becoming a part and parcel of my healthcare delivery. Not only that, coming to the other side, from the consumer side, financial intermediaries. You can now take a bypass surgery paying installment over 3 years or 5 years. This was not available, maybe putting the clock back 5 years or 10 years back. Now, when you come to the hospital, my staff will be ready to give you all 10 different offers, because I am connected to various intermediaries and various people. They're all my stakeholders. I don't think I am the only person giving this. So that large enveloping of various people who are party to the delivering a value to the customers has become a model today, and therefore I say it is largely a consumer driven healthcare model that is prevailing. Therefore, net, the value is very important today than anything else. And the value is measured in terms of quality, service, and at cost. And largely it is translated in the form of a patient care, and that is what is measurable and how it is communicated, and finally how it is coordinated. And this value makes sense to any healthcare provider. And as an institution who give insight into the data, we provide information to those companies. Depending upon their requirement, we work back with the data available, and we give solution to them. That's what our job. Sometimes they talk to us, come on, you work on the quality side. Sometimes they ask us to do on the service side. You do research on only service and give feedback, right? Or sometimes they work on what is the value perceived by the customers. What value you give may be different, and what is the value perceived by the customer may be different. So they ask us to work on some model. They want us to work on some area, and we work only on that. We don't give a complete package of value. Whatever they want, we give it, and we work back to their place. We collect the data, we transmit the data, we run the data, we clean the data, and finally we get an insight and give it to them. And I will give you a couple of examples where what we have done recently with a couple of institutions of repute and quality, and you will be able to understand very clearly what is the role we play. Look at this. This is one of our pioneering work done in Manipal Hospital, Bengaluru. Right? Manipal Hospital, Bengaluru is one of the topmost iconic hospital in entire Karnataka. Maybe you may be knowing very well. Manipal Medical College is the first medical college in India run by a private institution. Before that, it was run by government institution. But Manipal Hospital was the first hospital run by a private entity, a private organization. And the Manipal Hospital belonged to that group. Now, this is located in Old Airport Road. I'm talking about the old Manipal Hospital in the Old Airport Road. And when we visited that hospital, they said, yes, we ask only one question. What all the pain points you have in your organization? Because our job is to provide relief to that pain points. And they listed in n number of pain points. And finally, the core team of Manipal Hospital and our team, we zeroed it on one important pain point. And that pain point was patient waiting at the hospital after being cleared by the doctor. You are discharged, you can go. The doctor, the duty doctor or the surgeon came to the ward, and the patient is there in the ward for 5 days or 6 days. And the doctor said, yes, you can go, you are discharged. Now, any one of the participants now, if you were in a hospital for 5 days or 6 days, or some of your friends and relatives are there in the hospital, you must have experienced this very important pain point. What is the pain point? Morning, doctor, 7 o'clock, doctor came and he said, you can go. He writes in the report, right? In the report. But 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, nobody came, nobody gave the bill, and nobody wanted something, and we don't know when you will get away from that place. Your relatives are coming with a taxi or car or vehicle. They don't know what time you will come out of the hospital. Their pain point was this.
Yes, sir, there is a long waiting for that, long waiting. And it's a very impatient waiting also.
It is really troublesome.
Yes.
It's a great risk.
Yes.
Now I'm converting that into a healthcare analytics problem. Look at this. One full day, and we asked Manipal Hospital, what is your average time for discharge? And they said it is anywhere between 6 hours to 18 hours. After the doctor declare that the patient can be discharged, right? The average discharge time is between 6 hours to 18 hours. We asked why. The reason they are telling is something very painful. The discharge summary is not available. Doctor has not given a written consent. Pharmacy bills are not settled. Food bills are not settled. Room rent is not covered. Very painful exercise is insurance company has not accepted the bill. You know very well, a vast majority of the procedures are now done through insurance, private or government, whatever insurance. Unless the management of the hospital is sure that they get the money, the patient will not be discharged. Or you give an equal guarantee, or you pay the money and get out and you take a payment afterwards. 6 hours to 18 hours. And we are talking about a hospital where if we have 750 bed in that hospital, there are always waiting for bed around 250 to 300 patients. There is no beds available for placing them on the bed. Now the question comes. Now I am converting that into a clinical sense, then business sense. First is the clinical sense. The doctor is frustrated. The theater staffs are frustrated. And the attending nurses are frustrated because there is nothing to be done. The patient is ready to move, right? And we are wasting 6 hours to 18 hours. Now, coming to the business side, when the doctor say you are discharged, the hospital will stop billing from that minute onwards. The billing stops. The billing stops. That means the hospital stop earning money from the patient that moment the doctor writes you are discharged. Okay. Now, at the same time, the hospital loses money by not admitting another patient in the same bed within next 1 hour or half an hour. There are two loss to the hospital. One loss is you are not getting money from the patient. Another loss is you are not getting money from the patient that you are going to admit. Double loss. And people in healthcare know this simple rule of thumb. The rule of thumb available in the marketplace, what is that? One bed should give you not less than 1 crore revenue a year. This is a rule of thumb. One bed. I'm talking about inpatients because all the performance of a hospital is not measured by OP or anything. The performance of a hospital is measured largely by IP, inpatients. And that is also measured in terms of 1 crore per bed. So if you have 750 bed in Manipal Hospital, your turnover should be not less than 750 crore. If it is 800 crore, very good. Your performance is fantastic. But if it is 600 crore, you are underperforming. If it is 400 crore, you are doubly underperforming. The moral of the story is you are not utilizing the facilities available, right? As per the industry standard. It is not somebody gold standard created by somebody. It's an industry standard. Now the question is, what is the amount of money the organization is losing by delaying this discharge time? This was an assignment given to us. And there is no immediate quick fix available to solve it. Because, this involves data, this involves data flow, this involves data sequence, this involves time taken at each and every stage, this involves the quality of the people, this involves a lot of people. So a lot of work has to be done. Finally, we took 6.5 months, almost 7 months. We spent at the premises of this hospital, and finally we submitted the report. Now anybody can go and find out in Manipal Hospital, Bengaluru, the discharge time is between 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours. The moral of the story is we could not make it zero because human beings are involved in that. But nevertheless, from 6 to 18 hours to 1.5 hours to 2 hours, fantastic. Now I put it in the business sense. This alone will earn to this hospital not less than 150 crore rupees in a year. That means approximately 20% of the revenue of the company. Now it is doing more than 1,000 crores, right? The turnover is more than 1,000 crores. It's doing fantastic. They have increased the number of beds also, right? Now it is more than 850 to 900 beds. Fantastic. The moral of the story is this is the way we work. This is one of the examples I have, what we have done, flesh and blood. I was in front organizing this. Okay. Therefore, you will find a triangle, a people, product, and process. All these things have to be linked. And all these things you will find many times, what happened? The doctor used to dictate and the typist used to type and type the discharge summary. Now gone. The doctor is using an instrument and he is talking. And immediately the talking is being typed. And finally, the discharge summary is available. The discharge summary goes back to the doctor in the same iPad and he is just clicking yes. And the discharge summary can be printed, right? And relatively, pharmacy, phlebotomy, or physiotherapy, all departments are interlinked in such a way, within no time, you get report from all the places. And finally, effectively, the patient is not need to wait in that hospital and the patient can go and very happy for the institution, very happy for the patient, very happy for the people working in that organization. This is example number one. Example number two, we took another trial with an hospital called Fortis. Fortis is a multi-speciality hospital across India, and we have taken this Fortis from Fortis Chennai. Fortis Chennai, right? It was not the same Fortis of Bengaluru, because Fortis Bengaluru is a largely accredited hospital, whereas Fortis Chennai is not a big accredited hospital, not even accredited by NABH, right? Forget about JCI, but whereas Fortis Bangalore is accredited by JCI, Joint Commission International of Bangalore, of USA, they are accredited. But it's a very small hospital compared to some of the biggest hospitals where you and I can see. We have done another study here. Another very interesting study here is this. The patient's waiting time. How do you reduce the patient's waiting time? And what all the tools and techniques you can use? And we have done the study for around 3.5 months across 14 departments. And finally, we gave a solution, and that solution is in operation in Fortis, not only in Fortis Chennai, Fortis Bengaluru, and Fortis other places also. The moral of the story is the data gives you a sense, and that sense gives you an insight, and that insight is related to business. This is what I am trying to say in all, right? And here also, apart from using text analytic tools, we use a lot of VA softwares, right? Like OC is one software we frequently use. ClabBridge is another software we use seldom, but not very often. But Invoca is another software we use very, very often, especially with the smaller and mid-sized hospitals, right? You need not worry about that. That is more technical about it. And once you are entering into this domain, probably, there is another organization where we did a lot of studies, and that is related to HCG. HCG is one organization in India owned by an Indian based in UK, and he is doing only on cancer treatment, right? Oncology. And his only aim is, you see the slogan, living proof that cancer is conquerable, right? And we did plenty of studies with them. I'm not going into the details, but finally, HCG is using our data plenty, God's plenty, and our insights. We also do work with a lot of insurance companies to find out misuse of insurance products, right? And how they can price a given insurance product, how they can market certain insurance products using different focus and on. So finally, we also work on various areas in healthcare, like obesity. We do a lot of work with diabetics. We do a lot of work with cancer. We do a lot of work with heart diseases. We are not doing with PCOS, hormonal imbalance, hypertension. We are going to start, but other areas we do. We are supported by a lot of institutions by giving data. We work on the data, and we support clinical research. We support clinical research because clinical research is a fantastic outcome in India for the simple reason none of the Western countries can afford to have it because of the volume and the variety of cases that you can see in India. So we do a lot of works like that. Even we do a lot of work with yoga centers, which is a part and parcel of healthcare, right? We take the data of, say, 500 people visiting their yoga center. We convert the data into meaningful insights and give them solutions that whether it is working or not working, if it is working, why it is working, if it is not working, why it is not working, right? That's the birth of our GIHA. And now I want to make people understand that this healthcare analytics is not specific to only disease and clinical side. We can use healthcare analytics, healthcare accounting data, we can use healthcare finance data, we can use healthcare marketing data, we can analyze and get out a solution. Business studies, research studies using text and voice data, and hands-on training and internships. Also, we can do. We can help in organizing all these works, especially related to healthcare. So, the moral of the story at the end is that if somebody is having a dream job of getting into healthcare, here is an opportunity waiting for them, and that opportunity can be seized if they are putting their head and heart into that. Look at this. 2 points I would like to clarify before I say bye-bye to all of you. I have only another 3 minutes. What is the automobile capital of India? If somebody say, it is Chennai. It is Chennai. Chennai is called automobile capital of India. There is another word for Chennai. Chennai is called Detroit of India. Detroit is a state in US known for automobile companies. Like that, for all analytics, Bangalore is a capital. Bangalore, Karnataka is a capital. There are about 300,000 analytics companies, of which there are about 600 companies are purely healthcare analytics, from one-man show to an institutionalized or a corporate company. Big opportunities you don't get anywhere. And there is one more place next to Bengaluru. Guess it is Noida, Delhi NCR. Then only you have Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Chennai and all, right? Somehow or other, this area picked a lot of momentum and lot of energy in popularizing what is called healthcare analytics in general. Last leg for people who wanted to take a profession in healthcare. The entry level in healthcare analytics, these are all the titles given. Any title, to me, it is all equal. Only depending upon the company, they give one title or other. And the package that is available in the marketplace is somewhere, for a decent company, it is somewhere between 40,000 to 80,000. I'm talking about the entry level positions. Entry level position. For that, one should have a basic degree. I'm not talking MBA, a basic degree. Number two, should have some versatile knowledge in some language, whether it preferably our language, right? Or Python, like that. And one or two machine language. That's it. And the last but not the least, common sense. All combined together, there is a wonderful opportunity. And therefore, I would appreciate people not belonging to the first, but belonging to the second. The first is a dinosaur. I think it is exit now because it is so strong and so big, but it is exit because one thing it could not do, like a cockroach, how to accommodate itself. In spite of you kill cockroach 100 times, 101st time it will come out. Moral of the story is it knows how to accommodate itself and how to get out of the attack and how to survive in the most competitive market. And if that is known, then probably this is one of the market, one of the industry, and one of the market you can put your future on, right? And therefore, the key is in your hands. The most important thing is answered by you, nobody except other than you. Thank you very much. I am waiting to hear your comments, views, recommendation, suggestion. If nothing is available, questions. I am done.
That's an amazing session, sir. And I can see how analytically you put it dot in 40 minutes. That's practicing analytics. We can all see so well. And it was a very mesmerizing session. And we could so well relate to that discharge. I'm sure all of us have been in hospitals for somebody, or unfortunately for us also. And then the more pain than the treatment is given by the discharge thing. And so happy to hear that for Manipal Hospital, it has come down, because I personally had an experience with Manipal Hospital. Morning, I was told that discharge will be done, and evening 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
You are very lucky. You did not wait for next day.
Next day, correct. Sir. I was lucky in that aspect. I mean, 2.5 days is humongous.
Correct.
And we can see how interested the participants were by I can see that there are 41 new messages into the chat box.
My God.
Also, sir, one request that has come commonly from everybody is that can this PowerPoint be available to the audience?
I can. Can I send to you? Or I will send to Sunil.
Yes,
I'll send to Sunil.
Yes. Then I'll ask from sir, and then we'll distribute it to everybody.
Yes.
Because that's something
it's my responsibility. In another 5 minutes, it will be sent to Sunil.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, there are quite few questions. And one of the questions is, which comes across everywhere, is that can artificial intelligence replace healthcare?
Yes, it's a very interesting question, right? Artificial intelligence will not totally replace healthcare, right? Because artificial intelligence largely will replace from at the beginning all mechanical mundane jobs. Okay. Mundane matlab repetitive jobs, which does not require a top-notch skill. When there is a top-notch individualistic specialistic skill is required, AI has got limited role. I know very well AI is now used in healthcare for surgery, right? For example, now in one of the hospitals I am working, they use a hand. The hand is an AI. And what the surgeon does, he fixed the hand inside his hand. That hand, there is a hand which is an AI instrument. That instrument is fixed in his hand. Instead of his hand doing the manipulation, that AI is doing the manipulation. For the simple reason, it is very precise and very accurate. For example, a 70-year-old surgeon doing a surgery is a great risk because his eyesight may be in trouble, his hands may be trembling. In that situation, it is helping. But replacing a human being in healthcare is a very remote chance. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes.
It will support.
So probably healthcare, or for that matter, I think in any sector, AI will be more of a support for creative jobs.
Absolutely,
And,
absolutely,
and of
absolutely.
course, it will be a replacement for the mundane job. So I think the straight message to all the audience is
Yes.
that we need to be into a field which is not mundane and which has some creative common sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man is known for creative jobs.
Creative jobs, correct.
Man cannot be replaced.
Yes, sir. And then, sir, Mr. Dr. Ramchandra is wanting to ask that what are the key areas where regulatory compliance peeps in? Since it's healthcare, there are a lot of regulatory compliances. So is it a support or is it a pain, or where does it creep in more into
Yeah,
the
it depends upon the organization, right? It depends upon the organization. For example, NABH and JCI. NABH is National Accreditation Board for Hospital, and JCI is Joint Commission International. These two are the quality assessors for a hospital.
Okay.
Right? You have, for example, NABH, you may have some 200, 300 people in India accredited, but JCI less than 50 or less than 30, meaning we are not upgrading ourselves to the international level, or we are not benchmarking to the top class universities or top class healthcare centers in the world. Now, one day or other, compliance will sit on all healthcare people. Because minus compliance, if we allow the healthcare products and services to get float in the market, it will create more chaos than benefit. So compliance will come and it will stay. It is for the provider to comply with the requirement as long as he or she wants to continue business in that.
And are the compliances becoming friendlier, or are they becoming?
Now it is becoming friendlier, very, very friendlier. For example, everybody was afraid of NABH accreditation.
Correct.
Right? NABH, oh, itni lamba, itni bada. I'm a small hospital. You know, NABH has started NABH entry level accreditation.
Okay, yeah.
That means you need not go for full accreditation. NABH entry level accreditation. So the quality assurance organization also, they understand the realities and they are understanding various products and services to match the quality requirements. Because compliance many a times is taken to be a very negative term. That's right. It is not necessarily. You know, parents are telling children to lead a decent life and obedient life and a disciplinary life. If you think that is a problem, nothing wrong with the parents, something wrong with the children. The children. Very well said, sir. Very well said. Sir, Tanima is asking what's the full form of IBM Watson Studio? What is the full form of? IBM Watson Studio. I think one of your slides, it has come up. Tanima, I think it can be Google searched also. That's a very thing. So I think that we can probably pass on that. Yes. And then, sir, Dr. Anson has a very interesting view. He says that we are talking more about healthcare as a consumer-based healthcare. Rather than it should be a disease-based healthcare. So probably what he is trying to point out is that there is a difference of opinion that healthcare as a sector cannot be consumer-based. It has to be more disease-based. What is needed, not what should have, but what is good to have. What is the name of the doctor? Dr. Anson CJ. Okay. I really appreciate, doctor. Wherever you are, my appreciation, my pranam to you. But I would like to submit a very important point. Disease itself is defined. Disease is not, health is not absence of disease. Okay. I'm coming back. Health is not absence of disease. Okay. There are two things, illness and wellness. Okay. We are always thinking about illness. We seldom think about wellness. If wellness is taken care, illness will not be there. People who think about illness only will think about disease, sick, patient, and body. And there is one more word. This is a very interesting word. Disease itself is defined as psychosomatic. Psychosomatic. Disease itself is defined as psychosomatic. That means any disease Disease is discomfort. Any discomfort is psycho, mind, somatic, body.
Okay.
No disease is there without having an implication on mind and body. So you cannot treat only body. See, you are having fever, I am having fever. Yours is 102 degree, mine is 102 degree. I may become very, very pathetic, very fearful. I may be within the blanket. I will shout all things. Whereas you, as a very young, energetic lady, you will never bother about 102. Then what is the problem? The same pyrogen is attacking you, the same pyrogen is attacking me. You are having 102, I am having 102. Why we are not suffering equally? That is because you are mentally strong as compared to me. You are able to withstand the pressure of the agony of the disease. Therefore, as a physician, I should treat not only the bacteria, the pyrogen, and other thing, but I also should treat the patient's mind. That's what, the basics of all health science is Ayurveda.
Right.
Basics of all health science is Ayurveda. Ayur means life. Veda means science. It is a life science. Okay. And they never treat disease. They treat the person. If both are having 102 degree, they treat you differently, they treat me differently. Whereas allopathic medicine, both of them are given paracetamol. Wrong. Because they treat only disease. They treat only staphylococci, streptococci, pneumococci, gonococci. Not enough. I should treat you also. I give a pat on your back stating that, hey, Punia, you are all right. Go home. That itself is a treatment. Yes or no?
Yes, it is.
That's a wonderful treatment. So therefore, people who think the diseases are treated, it's only clinical. But we have to assume the patient is treated. Then it is holistic. And that is a full form of treating a patient. I'm done.
Dr. Anson, you have a direct invitation from Chandrasekhar sir to have a fireside chat with him in his office.
Anytime.
And you are going to love it, I'm very sure.
Anytime.
Sir, Shubhadeep sir is asking how to measure consumer behavior in a hospital. And also, are there any tools and techniques on this measurement factor per se of the consumer behavior with special reference to a hospital?
Okay. See, largely the customer satisfaction or consumer satisfaction is measured as an island, as something separate. No. Even NABH, NABH is one of the biggest accrediting agency in India, National Accrediting Board for Hospitals. You know what they say? Don't worry about, right, what is called perfect customer satisfaction. There is nothing called perfect customer satisfaction, right? You take a customer satisfaction survey based on your own attributes. There may be some attributes. For example, facilities available, dealing with doctors, ambience, charges, delivery, quickness, whatever attributes you select, doesn't matter. You select any attribute, you measure the customer satisfaction matrix. After 3 months, use the same matrix and you measure the customer satisfaction. If you are showing your growth towards the north, you are making an improvement in your organization. That's it. You know why? Apollo Hospital customer satisfaction measurement does not fit into another hospital in Delhi or NCR Road. That framework will not fit into. But you have your own framework for your hospital. Over a period of time, you do again similar instrument you serve. And if you are showing an improvement in that, your customer satisfaction is enhanced. That's it.
Okay.
Very simple tool. Am I making myself clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, you are. And then just a reminder to everybody, there is the link is available on the feedback, and the attendance link is available in your chat boxes. So I request everybody to kindly fill that so that you do not lose out on the attendance on the e-certificate. And also the feedback will help us improving the entire analytics of the sessions that we are going to have.
Appreciate.
And will give us more insights into this. Sir, we have few more questions. So somebody is asking, and that the lady is Seema Kumari ma'am, who is asking that how to grow in healthcare analytics in a very simple and easy way. No more, no lot of stuff, but is there some simple and easy way of growing or making a career into healthcare analytics?
Yeah. But I don't know what this lady is doing, whether it's a student or a professor or whatever it is, right? If you want to enter into healthcare analytics, number one, you work in a hospital for not less than 3 months' time, especially data related engagements. And you will be surprised to know from the hospital, they are very silent on this data. They give the data, file the data, that's it. But if you give some life to that data, this means this. By making a simple analysis, by making a simple pie chart or a bar chart or a correlation or a regression or an ANOVA, if you are able to correlate certain things, right? For example, experienced staff nurse in a theater and output of the procedural output, if you make this comparison, you will understand that experienced staff nurse gives rise to less problem in the operation theater, right? So if you make some small observation to the hospital will wake up, you will wake up that, these data were not used for any purpose, but now I am able to use the data into constructive purpose. Best thing is go to the ground level, go to the hospital, pick, there is a department called MRD. First step she should know is go to the department called MRD, Medical Record Department.
Yes.
Where all the patient's data is kept. For example, when the patient comes, you are very, very eloquently receiving her, wonderfully giving her courtesy, chai pani, everything you give. But the moment the lady delivers and goes, there is a disconnect between the hospital. How many hospitals are calling that lady after 3 months and say that, how is your child doing? How are you doing? Right? Why don't you come and visit our hospital to have another checkup so that you will live very happily, enchantingly, and all the past problems you can be devoid of? Or after the 1 year, how many hospitals are calling those people and say, happy birthday, my child. You were born in this hospital. I was handling you. I was your staff nurse. You give a lifetime thrill to those people. That is what the data analytics is all about. You follow, and the same baby will come after 15 years. He will join a university. You give another congratulation note. Yes, you were a child from my hospital. Now you are a graduating lady. Welcome. I am very proud. You put a poster in front of the hospital. This is all missing. Because we are not using the data. Once the payment is cleared, who are you and who am I?
Correct. Sir, so on that note, happy to share that I delivered both my kids into Bengaluru, and Dr. Revati Parthasarthi from Apollo Hospital. She had given me calls quite some times, and that's the most useful experience that I have.
These are all instructions given by healthcare analytics companies to them.
Analytics. nice, sir.
No, there are good doctors like your gynecologist. Definitely. Yes, see, finally, how do we translate these data into day-to-day use and create wonderful relationship? That is what it matters. Data itself is no use.
Yes. So creation of data into an experience of a lifetime to be remembered is the final goal of
absolutely. Make a meaningful life. Make a meaningful life out of it.
Yes. And sir, though we'll take another 5 minutes for this things. Sir, I hope that you do not have a hard stop on another 5 minutes.
No, 5 minutes. I have no problem.
Perfect. Just 5 minutes, because we are just 2-3 more questions. I just wanted the audience questions to be covered. Sir, yes. Gurunatha Naidu sir is asking that why healthcare companies, obviously the reasons are very obvious, but they are very reluctant about covering people above 60. And there is a lot of non-cooperation between hospitals and the insurance companies when it comes to the senior citizens. So,
yes. Yeah, it is very obvious. It is very obvious. The comorbidity ratio among people above 60 is largely high. Insurance companies, life insurance companies do not give policy above 60.
Correct.
Forget about health insurance. Now, health insurance companies give policies above 60, provided there is a very big premium. High premium it is. The moral is this. Statistically, it is proven. Anybody above 60 is prone to illness.
Yes.
Right? And therefore, what is insurance company? They also work for profit. Right? Yes. Their statistics is very clearly telling. Anybody above 60, don't take the risk. You want to take the risk, you collect more premium and cover the risk. That's
So
the only thing.
does that premium go as high as it's better for the patient not to take the healthcare?
No. It is better to take healthcare by paying higher premium than not taking healthcare. The healthcare one very funniest thing is 99.9% it may not come to you. You may not avail that insurance policy. But when it comes to you, there is a thunder. Thunder is waiting for you. Today, most of the lifestyle diseases are costing anywhere between 3 lakhs to 6 lakhs. Cancer treatment, it is anywhere between 4 lakhs to 6 lakhs. And an ordinary man cannot afford to have the luxury of it. It is better you pay 30,000 or 40,000 and get it covered.
Even if the premium is on the larger side, it's advisable that...
Yes. And now you have a lot of incentives. If your father is elder, you can pay the premium. You get, IT coverage. IT coverage.
Yes. Tax benefit. And sir, Parvati Yadav madam is asking that how can we support healthcare in rural areas? Or healthcare analytics, how can it be used to improve healthcare in the rural areas? Probably.
Yeah. See, in rural area, it is not a data-driven economy. It is people-driven. The people in that area only decide. So we can use data and indicate to them these are all the things what data says. Accordingly, they can do their intervention.
Okay.
That's the only way a rural side can be taken care of.
So
number two is that will give rise to a lot of awareness. See, for example, COVID awareness camp is largely came out of data only. People were not aware. Even in cosmopolitan city, people are not willing to take injection. And because of the awareness program, now everybody has taken. Second dose, third dose. Very few people in India only must have not taken the third dose. Because the sense of awareness created is very huge. So like that, awareness can be created among...
So I think the major requirement of rural areas is the awareness creation.
Awareness. For example, mammogram, right? I was instrumental in creating a mammogram program in a small village near Coimbatore. No lady was willing to come. Free. Otherwise, it is costing around 5,000 rupees. They say, no, it will create problem, it will create fever, we may die, all this. And we took nearly 1.5 years campaign. Now we are getting 60, 70 women for every campaign in that particular area.
Oh, that's a big congratulations on that, sir.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to share that I was able to cover the entire questions posted by the audience. And one of the highest rates of questions into the interactive sessions that we had. So happy to have it. And
that is because of the comparator. So asking a question is very intelligent. Giving an answer, anybody can give. Asking a question is very interesting.
Another analytics coming from a very, very intelligent mind. We can hear that.
Yes.
So, sir, I have to say, maza aa gaya. It was...
that's a wish of God.
Yes, sir. It's fun. And most of the audience have demanded another session for you. And now I can say that 1 hour session is incomplete. We need to have a complete series of workshops on healthcare analytics, hearing the amazing gentlemen that we have heard right now. And I'm your host, Dr. Manju Punia Chopra, Dean of Pune Business School. I know as a protocol, I should have introduced myself earlier, but then I took the pause and thought of giving my intro at the end. So right now I am Dean of Pune Business School, which is B school in Pune. And the director of the institute is Dr. Ganesh Rao, sir, who is also one of the executive members of AIMS Society. And I take the opportunity to, of course, thank our wonderful speaker, Dr. R. Nandagopal, sir, President AIMS, Dr. Ganesh Rao, sir, executive member of the AIMS Society, for giving us this opportunity, AIMS Secretariat, and of course, the wonderful audience and all the participants.
Thank you. You have made my day. I really enjoyed, right? I spent this last 1 hour in an enchantingly blissful and peaceful way. And thank you very much. And you are one of the most important person to make this program extremely successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. And I wish everybody a very pleasant good evening, and Jai Hind, everybody.
Thank you.